Welcome to Rooster Radio, a broadcast dedicated to supporting and promoting local artists in the Gaston County and surrounding areas.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. We are talking with Heather from Hope United Survivors Network and Missy Wood from Creative Music Management. Look over there and say hello, ladies.
Hey.
And the reason they're here today is we're doing our Christmas party this year. It's our third annual with CMM and with Hope United. It's going to be on Saturday, December 14th. Missy's going to tell us a little bit about the bands. Heather's going to tell us a little bit about the organization and why we're doing this. Let's start with the history. In the last 2 years, we've been able to bring in a lot of stuff. My question is this. Were you able to use it all?
Absolutely.
Okay. Talk a little bit about like what we've been able to do the last couple of years with the toy drive.
Yeah, so the toy drive that has been able to benefit our larger community, it's able to serve kids, families that are in need across our community. And last year, over 1,700 kids were able to wake up to Christmas gifts on Christmas morning.
Wow. That is amazing. I actually didn't know that we reached that many people. That's fantastic. That's all because of you people. All you that donated, like that's how that happened, man. God, I'm so proud of that.
I didn't think that number was that high.
Yeah. Awesome. And we started with the domestic violence shelter, and we could talk a little bit about that. And we've talked before, but now that we have a little bit larger of an audience, I want to talk a little bit about Hope United Survivors Network and exactly what you do in addition to running the shelter here in town.
Yeah, so our kind of larger department and overall reach is all the way from children up to older adults. So within the Survivor Network and Survivor Services, we're able to, we have our Family Justice Center model, our Domestic Violence Shelter, and our Children's Advocacy Center, so that we're reaching survivors and people in need all the way from childhood to older adults. And those are people that are experiencing things like child abuse, witness to violence, intimate partner violence, sexual assault, elder abuse, and the services are able to be access to them regardless of what their need is and kind of what's going on, somebody there to help them navigate and get the support. So the toy drive and kind of things that have spun from the holiday giving is also another program or fun event that we're able to do that's Hope for the Holidays is what it has been named. And that's our community coming together and having toy drives and different donations and able to, each year we've been able to serve more and more kids. So the first year it was right over 1,200. Last year was 1,700. And our goal for this year is we're really hoping we can reach 2,000.
Heck yeah, we will. And just for those who are wondering, we do have an Amazon wish list where you can refer to that. You can look at on the event page for the show on our website. If you go to either of those web addresses, you can see we put the Amazon wish list in the description of the event, so you can go straight to that and donate. Now, that goes to you, right, Missy?
Yes, it comes directly to me, and day of the show, we load it all in here, display it all for everybody, and more stuff gets added as people are coming through the door. But it's been very beneficial in the past.
Yeah, and what's cool and unique about Hope United, one of the things that I've learned is that not every community has an organization this big, and a lot of that was built on the back of Ms. Cloninger. So I want to shout out Kathy Cloninger right now, who probably doesn't watch the show, but she devoted her entire adult life to advocating for survivors and victims of violence, domestic violence, and that's kind of how this thing started. Can you talk a little bit about how it built out from that?
Yeah, absolutely. And I would love to give a shout out as well. She has certainly devoted her life to our community and to the survivors that are living in our community. So I am the program administrator at the Kathy Mabry Cloninger Center, which is our domestic violence shelter. And that has been in existence for many years and kind of started as the primary service that was there for survivors. And then years later after that, the Children's Advocacy Center opened up, and that's called the Lighthouse. And then from there, as trends and different models have changed throughout the years, the community-based model came up to help survivors who may not want to be in shelter or need to be in shelter but still need that support and all of those same services. So from that, we can now kind of reach a larger group of people and have multiple ways that they can access services. That was all started from her devotion and care for the community and the survivors.
She fought really hard for a long time to fund these programs, and it's a good thing that she did, because there's a lot of things that are unique about Gaston County and this community here. All the way from 14 municipalities to to services like this. So we are in a unique area. However, just like any other community, we still have to deal with, the not so great things and the not so great people. Anecdotal, is there, what would you say to a person? Because the number one thing that Molly said to me the first time we met, that to this day still struck a nerve with me, that a person would leave on average 7 times before leaving for good from a violent domestic violence situation. A lot of that has to do with not, feeling as though you don't have anywhere to go, feeling as though there might be help, but then they can't protect you. What do you say to that person that's on their second or third time and feel like they have nowhere to go?
So I think over and over, it is just a conversation of, we're here to help you. We're here to support you. And every person's journey is different. And we understand that. And we want to help you in the best way, because you as a person know what will keep you the safest and how we can help you the best, instead of us saying that we know how to help you.
Instead of having this structure as these are the steps you have to take, you are actually taking the time to talk to the individual and figure out their personal situation and figure out how best to help them out of that.
Absolutely. Every situation is so different, and we want to help them navigate in the best and safest way possible for them.
Right on. Missy, you want to talk a little bit about your experience and why this is so near and dear to your heart? You don't have to go into details.
I'm a survivor of domestic violence. I wish these services were available. I wish I knew of services like that when I was going through it, because it leaves you feeling empty. It literally belittles you as a person. And to be able to help others while I'm on my survivor journey means a lot to me. So when given the opportunity 3 years ago to pick what we wanted to do this for, it was a no-brainer for me. And I've put my heart and soul into it for the last 3 years, and my bands stand behind it. Everybody I've talked to are more than willing to give. This is one of the things everybody looks forward to. And, the first year I stood and told my story, and I'd never said it out loud, but it gave a lot of people a different perspective on things. And they knew exactly what they were donating for.
Yeah. Yeah, we can talk about the show for a minute if we're okay. We can weave in and out of the conversation here, and I think we have a killer lineup. We're bringing in a tribute to close out the night for this one. So we've got As Daylight Dies, which is a tribute to Killswitch Engage. We got to meet those guys a few months back. They reached out. We found a spot for them. They were incredible performance was incredible. And we were like, yes, let's find a way to get them back. And it turns out they already have a relationship with Hope United.
Yes.
And they already work with you guys and help you guys raise money. So when me and Missy started talking about this year's lineup, I was like, can we get them on this show? And Missy,
we've always worked together to make sure there's a solid lineup for everybody.
Yeah.
And I've actually been talking to the guys from the Killswitch cover and, their mental health podcast and everything. Mm-hmm. We're talking about having me on there and speaking on the whole situation. And, they're great guys, and they're all for the cause.
One of my favorite things about doing what I do is you get to meet so many people that care. It's so the opposite of the sterile corporate, environment where nobody really does care at all. There's a line item in the budget for philanthropy, but nobody really cares where it goes. So it's really cool to get to work with a lot of people with such big hearts. Now, give them the rundown. What's the rest of what can people expect for the show?
Direct support for them is going to be Dove Cage. They're coming off their European tour. They literally just got back and had a phenomenal time. If you love pop punk, alt rock, they are energy. They are just pure love and energy. We have Grindhouse, my little grunge band. But fun fact about them, the lead vocalist used to play with Clint Lowry from Seven Dust in Clint's first band. So they're older guys just keep rocking out and doing what they do. They took like a 10, 15-year break and came back swinging. We have Gypsy Caravan. They played here before for me for Rooster Olympics, and they're just a fun alt-rock, female-fronted band. And then we have Load Break, which is also out of the Raleigh area, I believe.
Yeah.
And it's the son of two of the guys from Grindhouse that are in this band together.
Is this the first time they're going to get to play a show together?
They played like one or two other shows, but the first time in this area. Right. So they actually reached out to me before they started playing shows and introduced themselves, and they sound great.
So we got a fun night of like rock and roll, hard rock, alternative rock, 5-band show. It's going to be a nice fun night. And then don't forget to wear your ugly Christmas sweater, because we're going to have an ugly Christmas sweater contest. And that's going to be fun. The goal is always to beat Scott, beat Scott Callahan, because he always...
Be original.
Yeah, be original. We'll be giving away some prizes as well.
I have some raffle prizes as well.
Raffle prizes, and we've got the toy drive. You can order off the Amazon list and have it shipped directly to Missy, or you can pick something out and bring it and donate it. Here at the show. All the money we raise from the doors also kind of go back into this organization. So we're looking to have a big night. We're looking to serve. We're looking to break 2,000. We want to touch 2,000 lives. And now back to the organization. You said that there's services for people all the way from children up to the elderly. So if you know someone, or you are someone who is experiencing abuse, what are the proper channels to go to get the help that's needed? And because this is a real thing. Like, some people are in a situation where they don't have any kind of freedom to reach out to somebody. Like, it's incredibly difficult to let someone know that this is happening to you. So what do you do when you're in that situation?
Yeah, so there's a couple different avenues. One is our website, and that's hopeunitedgaston.com, and there's an ability on there to fill out a form to have somebody reach out to you and can make notes about, is it safe to call you? Is it safe to text you? Is there a certain time that contacting you would be safest? Our crisis line is also operated 24/7, 365 days a year, and that number is 704-852-6000. Also, across the community, several businesses and organizations have come together, and there's small safety plans that are in some bathrooms, posters and things like that to know how to reach out. But also, I think talking about the other people that may be there to support you, really kind of connecting with somebody that may be able to act on your behalf or help you if it's not safe for you to reach out at that very moment.
Yeah, and if you know someone in that situation, we have these cards here behind our bar that you can take with you. That's got all of the information that Heather just described, with the website and the phone numbers and resources, where you can get the help that you need. You might know somebody in that situation, and this person doesn't want your help or is rejecting your attempts to help. Have you found a successful strategy for if you know somebody that's in an abusive situation and they're refusing your help? What can you do?
I think the first thing is to not judge and to listen and continue to be there for support without offering your own opinions or judgment about the situation. Because again, we know that our survivors are strong, our survivors are brave, and they know their situation the best. So really being there to be a listening ear, to continue to offer support, but not tell them what to do or what you believe that they should do.
That's really only going to push. They're going to push you further away. It's
a lot of them are used to somebody else controlling their life. This gives them their control back. It lets them guide their journey.
Yeah, and then let's play the scenario out. You're in this situation, and you reach out for help. You reach out to Hope United, and you start the process of telling your story and finding ways out. A lot of what people's biggest fear, and I don't know, you have the stats, I don't, but I would imagine this would be one of the biggest reasons why people don't leave is because they feel they have nowhere to go, or they have a feeling of worthlessness, like what am I supposed to do? This is the only place I have to go. What can be done for those types of people?
Yeah, and we do know that survivors are twice as likely to have depression, 3 to 4 times more likely to have suicidal thoughts, and to have all of these kind of barriers or things that they feel like are against them. But knowing that there are a plethora of services that meet your individual needs, whether that's that you want to get a protection order and need assistance in walking through that process, whether it's that you need emergency shelter, whether it's that you need assistance to create a safety plan to be able to leave at a later time if that's your desire, if it's to get out of the area. Really, the entire plan is catered around their story and their situation, but tons of resources and options depending on what that situation is.
Yeah, and a lot of people find themselves in this situation have children, and that complicates things, especially if the other parent, is, or the other person, the person that the abuser is the other parent. It makes it harder and harder. How successful have we been as a community to actually, when you get somebody into your organization to get them the help they need, how successful are we in, what's the word? I don't want to use an ugly word, but how successful are we at holding accountable the abuser?
Yeah, so our community has made a lot of strides in holding offenders accountable with the work with the danger assessment for law enforcement, which is a tool that helps prosecution and helps law enforcement to identify which of our offenders may be at a higher risk of reoffending or of being more lethal. So continuing to do that work, but have tons of community buy-in with our local law enforcement, with our district attorney's office, and with Hope United to kind of be able to wrap all angles of the situation to be able to increase offender accountability. You mentioned a little bit about how many people, just for a little bit of reference, we've served about 200 people this year so far at our domestic violence shelter. And again, that level of support varies for each individual situation. And I can sit and think of stories of the success stories and all the things that they've received. But again, each of those is very individual. But I think our community is making a huge impact in letting people see and know that we're here for them. Hope is here. And regardless of their individual situation, we can help you navigate that journey.
Yeah, I mean, it's a heavy subject, and here we are throwing a big Christmas party, to benefit. So I don't want to, I'm trying to stay in the water here and not, not make too light of anything and not bring people too far down. But, it's a reality. It's one of the, like, you ask just about any cop they're going to tell you the worst call that they get is that domestic violence call. No one wants to step into that situation. A lot of these police officers would rather chase down a drug dealer than step into a home that's, in a domestic violence situation, because it's so volatile and so scary. And it's just so reassuring to know that we live in a community that has this circle of support around this issue. Unfortunately, I don't think it's an issue that can ever be 100% eradicated. There's always going to be bad people out there. It's the same thing with the gun argument. You take the guns away from the people that follow the law, but you can't take them away from the lawbreakers, right? And it's the same thing here. It's like, you need these systems in place. So, I can't stress enough, if you know someone in this situation or you are a person in this situation, please reach out to them. Come here, come get a card from us and get the help.
Reach out to
you
me.
need.
Reach out to Creative Music Management. I will do everything in my power to help.
Yeah. What else? The elderly thing is not something that has really been on my radar. Do you want to talk? Can you talk for a minute about the resources you have and what kind of situation? Because there might be people out there who's got in-home living care for their grandparents or parents and might not have any idea that something's going on.
Yeah, so, I mean, in short, it's really the whole program is designed to see what your need is and meet that. So if you have just a red flag you're noticing, you want to talk something out, or are concerned that there may be elder abuse going on, Hope United can connect you with the resources to whether that's an investigation that needs to occur, whether that's just some additional supports that you need, or just to be on the kind of lookout for those potential red flags. And then all the way down to child abuse as well. We know that you mentioned kind of those domestic violence calls. We know that in intimate partner violence calls where there are children that exist, many times there's also child abuse that's occurring at the same time. So which is really why we can't solve this problem as one organization or as one focus of, we're only going to look at people of this age or of that age or of this type of victimization, because a lot of it's so intertwined. And as a community, all the different community partners, all of the different services that are offered, really kind of wrapping everything around is how we're going to make a difference, even if we're never able to fully combat it.
And furthermore, I would say the vast majority of abusers or offenders, whatever you want to call them, they're stuck in a cycle. And the longer you keep a child in a situation like that, the more likely that child is to have tendencies that lean toward sexual abuse, or domestic violence, assault, that kind of thing, because that's what they're growing up knowing. And it becomes normal to them, which is awful to say and awful to hear. But, this is why it's so important to get out and stay out, even if you love this person or even if this person is providing all of your needs. It's more important to get out. I'd rather be poor and independent than comfortable and living in fear of, getting beat down every night or getting abused in some sort of way. There's resources that are available to you, so please take them so that you don't create another abuser with the child you're raising.
Yeah, and studies show us that children who do grow up in a home with intimate partner violence are about 15 times more likely to either be physically or sexually abused at some point in their lifetime.
Yeah, I mean, you're teaching the kid that this is how life is.
You're teaching them what you're tolerating. At that point, they're sponges, and they're like, okay, mom or dad is tolerating this, so that's what they live. That's what they learn.
Yeah.
But this is why something like this is so great, because we're talking about the hard topics. We're having the tough conversations. We're showing our community through outreach and awareness and education that you don't have to be quiet and you can speak up, and there's people there that are going to listen to you.
And one thing I will say about Hope United is everyone I've met from your organization is passionate about what you're doing. Do you feel comfortable speaking about what motivated you, what inspired you to do this?
Yeah, so I was actually a pre-med major. Organic chemistry did not go so well for me personally. So I took one social work class, and I didn't really know what I wanted to do, so I just took a few classes on a variety of things and absolutely fell in love with social work from the day that I took my first class. Because of kind of that pre-med side, was always interested in forensic work, and started my career with Department of Social Services, and then moved into more of a child sexual abuse expertise area, and it's just continued to grow from there.
It's got to be really difficult, when you're living in that world, and you're seeing this every day. It's got to be hard, for you on an emotional and psychological, angle. How do you prevent yourself from becoming one of those people that's like, this is normal?
Yeah, so I think I've always looked at it as we all have different pieces of a puzzle, and it takes all of our pieces to see the full picture and put the entire puzzle together. And I just truly feel that I was meant to be the puzzle piece that I am, and to do the work that I do, and am so blessed and happy to be in a county and community where there's many others that feel that same way, and we're all putting our puzzle piece down on the table and putting that together.
So the environment that you're in and the people you work with you're able to kind of keep that from getting that jaded attitude about it.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, hats off to Hope United, man. What a great organization. I'm so glad that you told me the first year that this is what you wanted to do, because I was completely unaware of the organization myself. I knew about the Clonagers Center just because I knew who she was and her husband, But it's been enlightening for me. It's been inspirational for me to see people tell their stories. There's a personal friend of ours that has benefited from the services after I found out about you and was like, look, here's what you need to do. And then at that point you got to kind of stand back, like you said, and let them make a decision for themselves.
Getting the information out there is the main thing, because a lot of people don't know about services like this. Yes, the police departments do say, hey, there are services available, but to make that leap on top of already dealing with law enforcement and everything, it's hard. And to have a support system there means a lot to a lot of these people.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't want to keep repeating myself, but please, if you know someone show them this video. Show them this video. Show them that there are people out there that actually care, that want to help, and the road is hard. It's not easy. You find yourself in a bad situation, and it's your responsibility to climb yourself out of it. I knew that firsthand just from I went from sleeping on couches to owning this place. I get it. It's tough. And you have to make hard decisions, but don't ever think that you deserve what you're getting if you're in that situation. There's people out there that care and help, and you do have value. Anything else you want to share about the organization? Then we're going to talk a little bit more about the show.
Yeah, no, I think just for those people out there that we've mentioned the word journey a few times, and everyone's journey is different, and it is a journey. It's not always easy, and there can be lots of bumps in the road in any journey, but there are people that want to help you and are here to help you through your journey. So please call, and please continue to spread the word.
Right on. And Ron, if we can get that information up on the screen, we'll make sure that that's available. And then as far as the show goes, Saturday, December 14th, you want to help? You're sitting there thinking to yourself, well, this doesn't affect me, but you can affect these lives. You can come to this show, you can buy a ticket, you can donate from the Amazon wish list that you can also find in the description of this episode or on the description of the show itself on our website. And if they're not going to do that, what are some things they could bring if they're going to just bring something here to donate?
Just bring an unwrapped toy, blankets. A lot of the times we concentrate on the smaller kids, the teenagers, because they are going through it too. On our Amazon wish list, I have done razors and makeup sets and things for the older kids, because a lot of times you think toy drive and it's okay, babies, toddlers, and they don't realize it's a large age range that is affected by all of this.
Yeah, and if you care enough to get more active, are there volunteer opportunities?
There are. Those are also available on our website and on our Facebook pages. We do volunteer work days throughout the year. There's going to be volunteer signups to help with distributing some of these gifts, and those will be on the Facebook page soon.
Right on. Well, ladies, I want to say thank you both for coming and talking to me. I don't feel like I'm an authority on any of this, but I'm certainly happy to help and do something good for our community. It's, that's mine and Missy's relationship has become finding ways to help people that need it, from the Rooster Olympics to the toy drive at Christmas.
Cancer shows, we've done it all.
Cancer benefits, that's what we do. I met somebody that cares as much as I do about the community we live in and the people in it, and that's why I continue to do this, and we're going to keep doing it.
Those numbers are mind-blowing, because it shows the impact that a small music community can make.
Yeah. This is only a 175
spectrum.
cap room. I mean, we've served 10 times the amount of people we can fit in this place. That's pretty awesome. It makes me feel really good, and it should make you feel good too if you've donated or come to one of the shows. And we encourage you to do so this coming Saturday, December 14th. So we're going to open the doors up around 5 o'clock. We're going to start the show at 7. You'll get to see. Do you have a show order? Do you want to talk about that?
Load Break will be in first, and then we'll go to Gypsy Caravan, Grindhouse, Dove Cage, and then
so before we bring out As Daylight Dies, Missy and I will host the Ugly Christmas Sweater contest
and the raffles in between each band while they're setting up. It's a fun time. And everybody, I mean, before we announced it, I had probably 30 people going, hey, what's the date on this? So I can make sure I'm going to be there.
Yeah, and we'll have a food truck out, so come hungry. We'll have a food truck on site for it. And feel free to bring donations at the door or go to the Amazon wish list.
If you'd like to drop off donations ahead of time, I'm sure Michael would gladly.
Yeah. By all means, yeah.
I've already got a large box full of stuff that I've been buying throughout the year that as it goes on sale, we just grab it and, okay, that'll work. I know a couple other people have done the same for this.
Right
so once again, we have Danny Mazzio being photography. So he does a wonderful job with all the publications on our end. And we just make it as big as we can.
Yep. So it's hopeunitedgaston.com.
And it sounds like we need to be ready with our trucks.
Yes, and it's the roostergastonia.com/events. Just scroll down to December 14th for all the details on the show. We have a Facebook event page for it. Hope United has a Facebook page. Follow them so you can keep up with what's going on and look for opportunities to help out and volunteer. And, of course, Creative Music Management has social media as well that you should be following for all of the upcoming shows.
And Dove Cage is donating a portion of their merch sales that night to the cause as well.
Right on. Thank you, guys. They're so generous. They're so awesome. We love Dove Cage here. All right, anything else you want to say before we get out of here?
Just thank you.
Well, thank you for allowing us to help. We're a little rock and roll club. Not everybody wants to be associated with us, so we're thankful that we have opportunities to give like this. So awesome. So be here December 14th. Thank you for watching and tuning in. Peace and love.